We are joined now by the leader of the ACT Party, David Seymour. David, good to see you. Thank you very much for making the effort. You missed the plane,
Yeah,
did you?
g'day.
Did they not hold the plane for you?
Oh, it's big. No, man of the people. There's a big crash on the motorway down south, so delayed everyone about half an hour.
All
But hey,
right.
that's life.
All right. You didn't get accosted or assaulted in the bloody airport like Mrs. Jones yesterday.
No, but I think that's disgraceful,
Yeah.
and I think people got to recognise our whole system depends on people being prepared to put themselves forward for public office, and that comes with a lot of accountability. But if it also comes with your partner being assaulted, what will happen is that the quality of people prepared to stand, other things being equal, will go down, and we'll all be worse off.
Yeah. Well, look, a really, I think, interesting week for you. And I've been reflecting this morning that when you first proposed the Treaty Principles Bill, we were told that we didn't need a debate. There was no debate over the Treaty of Waitangi, that there was no issue in New Zealand. It has been through the Select Committee process, and of course your opponents, those who said there was nothing to see here, suddenly got very engaged in the debate over the treaty. And now, of course, are claiming victory because of the quantum of submissions that went to the Select Committee. Do you think that is a genuine victory for them or not?
Well, in terms of inciting people to write emails and harvesting their email addresses for future campaigns, I'm sure they're very happy with themselves. In terms of showing whether this bill is valuable and correct or not, it doesn't make a huge amount of difference. There's a systematic bias in Select Committee submissions that people usually come out in big numbers to oppose something. Regardless of how popular or unpopular it is. So if you look at euthanasia or end-of-life choice, that was a big submission for the time. It was 35,000 then. That people weren't using the internet as freely as they are now, so there was a big number. 90% opposed, but then it went to a referendum of the people. 3 million people voted, and we won by 2 million to 1 million. So, in the end of the day, the 35,000 people submitting, good on them, but they did not reflect broader public opinion. And it's the same with this. I mean, one way you can look at it is 300,000 people submit. Okay, that sounds like a lot of people, but there's actually 5.3 million. So until you know what the other 5 million think, you're not really in the ballpark. And actually, we do know what the other 5 million think because, when you do proper polling, where you actually call people at random so that each person has an equal chance of their view being represented, what you get is, 62% agree with our principle 3 that everyone's equal, 18% disagree. So that's over 3 to 1. If you look at the other principles, they're running about 2 to 1. So overwhelmingly, New Zealanders want Parliament to be sovereign, rights to be upheld equally for everyone, and everyone to have equal rights before the law. I mean, those are overwhelmingly popular concepts.
Despite the fact the Prime Minister told me months ago that he sees nothing of value in your bill, which is why it's going to be voted down this week.
Yeah, but the way I look at these things too, I mean, a lot of people think that these are, just a one-shot wonder. Actually, if you look at real change through the ages, you take something, and I use euthanasia as an example again. Michael Laws put up the first bill in 1995, got shot down by 2 votes to 1. Then he put up another bill, or actually Peter Brown did in 2003, just went down by just a 2-vote margin. And then my euthanasia bill passed in 2019. Now, I hope this doesn't take 25 years. But actually, it was the same with anti-slavery, multiple bills over multiple years. It's the same with homosexual law reform. Venn Young had the first bill in 1974, didn't pass till 1986. It was a 12-year campaign. So, these things take a while. What's changed with this bill is that there's now an open debate about what the treaty means and the idea that New Zealanders have the right to have a say on it. Those things have changed, and I think that sets us up. At some point, some future Prime Minister, probably some different politicians, we will have a vote on whether our rights are equal.
Wouldn't it be great this week if Chris Luxon and Winston Peters allowed their MPs to have a conscience vote on this bill?
Yeah, I think that'd be a great thing to do, but I think realistically they've dug their position in pretty hard. I still like them to change their mind and do the right thing, but it's up to them.
So what next on this issue? Is it, as Don Brash suggested to me this morning, do you now, they're thinking about launching a campaign for a citizens-initiated referendum? Is that, you think, the next logical step in this debate?
They can do that. I just make a couple of points. One is you've got to get about 350,000 signatures on paper because the rules are quite old, so pretty difficult to do. The Greens did it back in 2011. I think it was the Greens and Labor with the union movement all out there getting signatures. Yeah. But then they had a vote, and I think that one was about privatisation of power companies, of all things. They had the vote, and guess what? Power companies are still in the mixed ownership model. So, A, it's really hard to do, and B, it's not binding, whereas a referendum that comes at the end of a piece of legislation like the Treaty Principles Bill is actually binding. So, I wish them all the best, but I think the right thing to do is to accept what people have said about this, because actually sometimes what people have said is very useful. We've got a lot of people who really do think that the chiefs never ceded sovereignty, that the descendants of the chiefs don't have to listen to Parliament, and we're kind of seeing that with the behaviour of Te Pāti Māori. They're saying that Māori are special and should have special rights as a result of effectively being a separate nation that didn't cede sovereignty to the Crown. And
interesting to see that interview on the weekend where the leader of the Hikoi basically said the quiet bit out loud, yeah, we are about a complete sort of revolution. That's what we're trying to do here.
Oh, that is their goal. And I think now that they've kind of been outed, a lot of people said my bill created division. No, it didn't. It revealed that there are a lot of New Zealanders who have quite a different view about how our country should proceed. And it's totally out of step with liberal democracy. It's out of step with the things that work to make countries prosperous. And funnily enough, ironically, create the conditions where a lot of disadvantaged people, including a lot of Maori people in New Zealand, could do better. So, we have really put a torch on this movement, and I think that in time, sanity will prevail. But clearly, not all of our political leaders have the courage to do that right now.
So it would be fair enough to say you've kind of lost the battle on this bill, or you will this week, but at least the war goes on.
Well, I think we never got the other guys to sign up to vote for it, so we knew that. Yeah. We knew that they might not come through, but what we did know is that people wanted to have the debate, and as you said in your intro, a whole lot of people said that we didn't need to have the debate, suddenly want to have the debate, and they're having the debate in Parliament, so we've already shifted away from, Parliament doesn't matter, the courts should decide this, to actually we do need to argue this in Parliament. And so far, the arguments they've made don't actually stack up. I mean, Māori didn't cede sovereignty, Māori don't have special rights, Māori should have special rights.